I thought I would just chime in for a bit here. I need to clean up this garage. It's disorganized and it's getting on my nerves. Need to just reorganize, clean it up, blow it out. There's like water down there in that tornado shelter. So it's not like you're going to want to go down there to get away from anything. I'd rather just get blown away than go down there in that thing as it is right now. Yeah, anyway, I'm a little stuffy today too for some reason. It's how it is when you live out here in the country. But I don't know. What could we talk about today? I took on a job recently. It's a full-time position and in a place that is drug, alcohol, rehabilitation, that sort of thing. I won't mention any names or the name of the organization or anything like that. They used to have a inpatient program and that got defunded, so there's really no inpatient programs for rehab, that sort of thing. Not in this city, not right now. There probably should be, because everybody's strung out on something, it seems like. But anyway, and I have an adult beverage here. It's a combination of a Modelo Chelada and a Keystone. Pretty tasty. And as I talk about a drug and alcohol rehab, well, who cares? You know, I won't work there for all that long. And where I'm at right now, I guess, in my life is I am just life of Riley, man. I don't have any commitment to anything at all. Why? These places of employment, wherever they may be, they have no commitment to people. You know, they all have their human resources departments, right? That's because humans are considered to be resources. Well, that's fine. I can be considered a resource, that's fine. And your organization can be considered a paycheck. Absolutely. And so I'll keep going with this place for a little longer. I've been there about a month, a little over a month. I mean, it's not bad, but I answer to this younger girl who is a supervisor, not at the location I'm at. Well, she is, but she's not physically there. She's in Houston. So I don't have to see her on a daily basis, but I do through Teams. You know, that's how everybody meets nowadays, is either through Zoom or Teams or some shit like that. And I don't know. It's like taking orders or receiving any kind of negative feedback from somebody who's 30 years younger than me is just like a slap in the face. It's insulting. And we were in a visit, well, not a visit, we were in a meeting last Monday. We have these dumbass meetings every fucking Monday where everybody gets on the teams and from all these locations. They have many locations, you know, around the state. San Marcos, Houston, I think, Conroe, Amarillo, and some other places. And so everybody gets on this Teams thing and goes on about really just meaningless shit. I mean, what did you do over the weekend? And what are we going to work on this week? You know, and okay, I get it. Team building, whatever. Who gives a shit? But I find it annoying. Then we get to listen to this girl, you know, lead this session, you know, lead this chat session with all these employees, and she's just fucking annoying. I mean, at some point she starts going on about, oh, what was it? Transparency and, not morality, but what's the word I'm looking for? Honesty, whatever, trying to motivate people to, I guess, be honest with their time because they're, hourly employees and so on and so forth. And this place runs on grants and, and they have to be like this. So anyway, she's going on about that. And then she brings up, how she went to church and the sermon was about something or another. I don't really know. And she's like, and to be, Christ-like is our ambition. And I'm like, fuck you, bitch. I don't succumb to that shit. Or I don't go to church. I don't think like that. In fact, I think more like a Gnostic than anything at this point in my life. Like the whole damn thing's just a shit show. And people are just lost, believing all this dumbass shit that these churches are spewing out. And it's always these new modern churches, with their, they've got their speaker who's really more of a motivational speaker than a traditional pastor in the sense of, what we grew up with, where maybe they actually did even, quote the Bible once in a while and talk, talk about true, I don't know, or try to teach the actual history of Christianity or whatever. And instead of these motivational speakers who are just there trying to, I guess, just motivate people. I don't know. Then they have their little song, worship, praise teams, and all of that. It's moved away from where you just had an organ singing church hymns, and like it was back in the day. I grew up Methodist. Yeah, I got indoctrinated by that. And to their credit, to the Methodist credit, at least they weren't so hardcore hellfire brimstone shit like, Church of Christ or Baptists. And it was more inclusive. They were more warm-hearted, that sort of thing. Although many people in the congregation, obviously still had problems. Or, but they were just it was less of a judgmental type of atmosphere. Much less. I don't really recall growing up as a Methodist where one church member felt more holier than thou than another one. I mean, unlike some of those other churches I mentioned, and that was just common in some of those churches, who's the most moral? And, the person who acts like they're the most moral is, probably jacking off 50 times a day and watching porn. Who knows? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like people put on a show to try to make other people think a certain way about them. But anyway, he just had less of that in the Methodist Church. But I moved on from that. I've never went back really to a Methodist church after I graduated from high school. I went to other top churches and stuff until I finally just quit going to church altogether. Probably, I don't know. It was probably around 1995. I remember back then I was like, this doesn't make sense anymore. And it just doesn't. It doesn't resonate. And I really couldn't, put a finger on it other than that it just didn't resonate. And I just couldn't figure out what I was even sitting in a pew for. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm sure I'm just a sinner and I need salvation. That's what the answer would be from, those types that think that way. Well, anyway, I don't know why I got off on a tangent like that, but this girl was going on about that in the work environment. Oh, do you know how we need to be more Christ-like? Well, what if none of us, what if we're not Christians out here, or some of us? What if I'm a fucking Muslim, or maybe Buddha, or maybe I'm Islam, or well, yeah, that's Muhammad and all that, right? The Islam faith, or what if I'm Hare Krishna, or what? Who the fuck up? Whatever, Not everybody is, all about your little church and your Christ-like bullshit. And the whole thing just really just kind of set me off, and I kind of liked her at first, but the more she opens her mouth, it's just like, damn, you are nothing more than an NPC, really and truly, in a managerial position. I mean, seriously. And, well, anyway. So anyhow, I don't really know how I ventured off into that, but, I know I really never know what I'm going to say. It's just what's kind of on my mind at the time, right? But the original premise, I guess, of the video is just I'm not committed to anything. I'm not loyal to your organization. I don't share the vision or any of that bullshit. Basically, I'm LARPing. I am playing the game to get a paycheck. Yep, damn sure am. And, when I run across something that I find that's better, I'm bolting. I'm out of there. I mean, that's just where I'm at in life right now. I don't care about working somewhere for X amount of years, or, so I can get an employee excellence, employee excellence award or whatever bullshit, they have going, and you have to do these, you have to put in your own review and your big 5 goals and all this shit that, eventually you'll be graded on. What are we in fucking high school? I mean, fuck that shit too. I don't give a shit what you think. Give me a C. I made C's in high school. That's fuck it, man. I don't care what you think. I made F's in high school. I didn't even have to worry about grades until I got to college. And I made C's in plenty of undergraduate classes. I think I graduated like a 2.5 average in my undergraduate. And by the time I made it to my master's degree, I finished my master's degree with I think a 3.58, some shit like that. So I upped my game because I can read, I can comprehend, I can take a test. I'm not stupid. But my problem was just conformity. But I guess the classes I liked best in, college were philosophy, psychology, those types of classes, those types of areas of study, I was never any good at calculus, man. I didn't understand that. What's that got to do with anything? What's that fucking got to do with the prosody in China? What, you can go be a computer analyst somewhere and you've got some math skills? I mean, who gives a shit? I liked learning about how the elite control people, and it's not through calculus and trigonometry. It is through behavioral conditioning, straight up. So why wouldn't I want to learn more about that? And philosophy was just an interesting, just jumping down a rabbit hole, which I've always been like that. So yeah, we'll see what the next leg of the journey is, and that's what this is at this point in my life. Hell, I'm 58 years old. I've played, employment games and all that bullshit, and put up with people's bullshit in the office, and everybody is just so fucking two-faced, fake, everything. It's why I worked for myself for many years. And that got fucked up over things that I won't get into. And I'll probably eventually get back there, though, working for myself in some regard, because working for people, it's difficult because of how I see people, especially in the workplace. They're just so ridiculous. They're just so fake. Oh, they're the fakest fucks ever. And just putting on a show. Well, you know what? I'll put on a show. I'll put on the best fucking show you've ever seen. And you'll not know that I'm even doing it. That's what's funny. And not have one shred of loyalty at all. And that's something that actually I'm kind of proud of, because I used to be so oppositional back in the day. I couldn't even do that. I had a hard time, you know, putting on a big show. But now it's like, it's actually kind of fun. I'll act. I can be a great actor. I can play like I'm the greatest team member, and, while I'm looking for another job, up yours, man. Well, anyway, I mean, holy moly. I mean, I don't know if other people deal with this in their places of work, or maybe you've won the lottery and you're just, you're done with it all. If I won the lottery, oh man, oh man, oh man. I would get some more horses, some more land, just hang out by myself like what I'm doing right here. Never worry about trying to make a paycheck, trying to make ends meet. Fuck all that. That's what I would do. What would you do if you won, or if you won the lottery, or if you got, rich all of a sudden, would you just become a worthless piece of shit? Or would you, I don't think I would be that. I think that I would truly just do what I want. Like I said, get some horses. I'll probably get some cows. Get some cattle and get a bigger piece of property and just do that. And have a good time. Drink beer. Smoke weed, whatever. I don't do any more than that. I've never done hard drugs. Never done meth, never done heroin, never done any of it. I probably should try it sometime, or maybe not. Maybe I'd like it too much. Yeah, I haven't smoked weed in a while. Well, I wouldn't have been able to get this job if I did, because they drug test. I mean, you can be a lush. You can be a fucking straight up alcoholic, drink, a case every day, and, pass their drug test because they don't care about alcohol. Although alcohol kills more people than anything. Kill your kill your organs, kill your liver, kill the person who's the passenger of your car when you're like tearing down the road. And this actually did happen just last week. I knew a guy who, I'm not a friend, not a personal friend or anything, but I knew him. I'd seen him in bars for years and talked to him. He's a big guy too, like 6'8", really, really nice guy. I mean, he looked intimidating because he's so fucking big, but a really nice guy, kind of a gentle giant kind of a dude. And well, he and his friend were terrassing about the city last week about 1 a.m. in the morning, and his friend was driving. His friend had a Lamborghini. Go check this story out. It's in the Amarillo News, and I'll just leave it at that. Go check out Amarillo Lamborghini crash, and you'll see it. And anyway, this dude, well, I guess he was hauling ass on a city street, and I kind of know the area of town pretty well. Well, he lost control of. He ran a red light, hit some other cars, and obviously crashed. And the passenger was that big guy, the big guy I'm talking about. His name was Jake, and like I said, I knew who he was. I've talked with him. Well, it killed him. In fact, it like cut him in half or something. Really kind of something gory, like right out of what's that show back in the day? The final whatever, where Oh, what the hell's the name of that damn show? You know, where death's coming for you. Well, you know, and you die in awful, gory ways. Well, that was his moment. Final destination. Well, that was his final destination. A car crash, him being cut in half. I don't know how. And the dude who was driving the car didn't have a scratch on him. He takes off running, fled the scene. I mean, this is the sort of shit that goes on in the town I live outside of. I moved out here to the country because of just all of the bullshit that goes on. And the fucking, you know, the gun violence. I mean, there's a shooting over there every day. Or shit like that that's going on. Well, this dude just took off. He just jumped out of the car and ran. And well, his friend's like, you know, dead, cut in half, you know, left there to, you know, he was already dead, probably dead before he even knew he was dead, if that makes any sense. But anyhow, this guy takes off running. Well, he went hiding somewhere, and they eventually found him. Of course, they're going to fucking find you. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at the day and age we live in. I mean, they're going to find your ass. You're going to have to do better than going over to a friend's house or whatever. You're going to have to get the fuck out of Dodge. Leave your phone, leave everything behind, your wallet, all of it, and just go. And, you know, cash only, and change your appearance, whatever you need to do. But they're still going to find you. They have a way to find people. You know, I don't know whether they have a tracking mechanism they put in our brain at birth or what, but they're going to find your ass. So he managed to evade the cops for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days or something, you know. And then they found his ass. Threw him in jail. He got out on a $300,000 bond. You know, I'm sure all kinds of shit's coming his way. What, vehicular manslaughter? He probably took off because he was drunk. I mean, that's the only reason you do that, right? I mean, you're like, oh fuck, I'm drunk. He's dead. I'm drunk. I might as well fucking run. Because if they, you know, find out I've been drinking, they're going to throw that one at me too. So there's, you know, it's an intoxicated manslaughter on top of everything else. So I'm sure that's why. And you know, if you're thinking about it, if you're in a situation like that and you're already, you know, 10 sheets to the wind or whatever, you know, I'm sure it was more than that because it was 1 a.m. in the morning, and you know, these guys are out drinking. They were and they were only like 43 years old. I mean, you know, not like they were, you know, my age, but. So this dude's like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm just gone. Yeah. Well, I don't drive fast, and I've never done that. I mean, when I was younger, I went out and stuff, but I didn't drive like that. I didn't do stupid shit like that. I was being very, very careful about how I drove because I didn't want to be in trouble. I didn't want to kill somebody. In fact, I was always the designated driver, even if I was drinking. But, you know, and I always drove extra paranoid. What the hell's wrong with people? But anyway, and so, well, that's about it. I haven't made a video or posted a video in a while. I think these are kind of going to be the types of topics anyway, just random bullshit. But anyway, hope everybody's having a really fucking great day. Bye.